A very good morning to all the students of class 9th. In this tutorial, we will begin with another lesson from your book Beehive, lesson packing. Before I start this lesson, I would like you all to think and answer this question that how many of you have packed things while going on a trip? How many of you take initiative to help your family members to pack your things while going on a trip? Think about it and think about all the packing materials, all the things that you pack. You all must be wondering that why I'm asking you this question. Obviously, this chapter is all about packing. The name of the chapter is packing. Then why not we start from all of you? The theme of this lesson is that routine tasks are not as easy as they seem to be. Just like packing is not as easy as it seems to be. When we hear this word packing, it seems like it's very easy to do packing. But when you are the one who does it and when you forget something, you will be responsible for the things you forget while packing your things up. So, this lesson is a humorous account that amuses us with the chaotic and confusing situations created by the clumsiness of three friends, and the name of those three friends are Jerome K. Jerome, George and Harris. Jerome is the writer of this lesson. All of them are good friends and they decided to go on a trip, and while going on a trip, one of them takes an initiative to pack things and thus creating a chaotic situation in the house. Let's see what happens next, how they manage things all together, whether they are successful in packing things, and what other things they forget while packing. Let's see. Do you like going on trips? What kind of trips do you enjoy most? Students, these are certain questions that are being asked from all of you. Before you read, you go through these questions and just answer it. Write it down here in your book, just beside this question. Do you like going on trips? Yes, if you talk about me, yes, I do like trips. What kind of trips do you enjoy most? Of course, I like more family trips, and I've been to. You can also answer these questions and just write it down in your book. You'll feel it good. Next is, how do you feel about having to pack for a trip? Have you ever discovered on a trip that you have forgotten to pack a few things where you very much need or that you can find them easily? Does this make you angry or does it make you laugh at yourself? Answer these questions. Here, this lesson has been taken from a book called Three Men in a Boat, written by Jerome K. Jerome. So this is a small extract from that book, Three Men in a Boat. Let's start. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. Here, Jerome says that he is the best packer, we could say, in the whole world because he knows best how to pack things. He told his friends that he is going to take this responsibility of packing. He told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. Both the friends were happy and they readily accepted what Jerome told them, that he is going to take the responsibility of packing. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his legs on the table. You can see here in the picture. Here is Jerome. He is packing. But you can see from his expressions he's kind of frustrated and irritated, and both his friends are happy and relaxing, one on the sofa and one on the easy chair. This was hardly what I intended. This line means that Jerome, when told his friends that they should leave the whole matter entirely to him, by this line he meant to say that he wanted to boss the job of packing. He wanted George and Harris to be the assistants. He would be ordering that what are the things to be packed, and the groundwork, actually the work of packing, would be done by George and Harris. But they misunderstood it, or Jerome was not able to convey the right directions to his friends what exactly he wanted. I should boss the job, and that Harris and George should potter about under my directions. So this is what he wanted. I pushing them aside every now and then with, oh, you, there, let me do it, there you are, simple enough, really teaching them, as you might say. So basically Jerome wanted to teach them how to pack things, but unfortunately it couldn't happen. And while one relaxed on the easy chair, the other on the sofa, it irritated Jerome a lot. He says, there is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am working. So basically this is the human nature. It happens almost with everyone, that if you are doing your work and the others around you are sitting and doing nothing, it irritates. So similarly it happened with the Jerome, that he was doing the work and his friends were relaxing, so it kind of irritated him. He recollects his past experience once when he was living with a man who used to make him mad a lot. He would loll on the sofa and watch him doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look on at me messing about. Now I'm not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. He says that there was a person who would loll on the sofa and would be looking at Jerome doing things, and this irritated him a lot, because he says that he is not the kind of a person who would see some other person doing work, who would see other person slaving and working, and he is sitting and relaxing. So he says that he is not that kind of a person. I want to get up and superintend and walk around with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. So this is was one humorous account he shares with, that he says that he likes to superintend. He likes to manage. He likes to supervise the job. He likes to walk with both hands in his pocket and wants to supervise the job and make the other person, tell the other person what to do and what to not. Basically he wants to supervise. He wants to boss the job. So he says that he is kind of energetic. So this is one humorous account he shares, that he is energetic, but on the other hand the contradictory statement that he says is he wants to supervise and wants to put both his hands inside his pocket. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be. Obviously, packing is we can say is one of the toughest job when you are doing it alone, when nobody is helping you. So it took a lot of time for Jerome to pack things. At last, he was about to finish. He just sat on it, strapped the bag Suddenly, there was their voice there was a voice came from behind, and the voice was of Harris. He said, "Ain't you going to put the boots in?" And he looked around. Jerome looked around, and he found that the boots are left outside, where he is required to put the boots inside the bag. He couldn't have said a word until I'd got the bag shut and strapped, of course. And George laughed, one of those irritating, senseless laughs of this. They do make me so wild. So, this irritated Jerome. On top of that, George started laughing because Harris could have suggested, or Harris could have told this way before the final packing by Jerome. He could have told him few minutes before, so that it could have been easier for Jerome to pack things. Now when he had packed everything, when he was almost done, strapped the bag, then Harris came and suggested and told him that he had forgotten the boots outside. So this made George laugh and irritated Jerome. He opened the bag again and put the boots inside, and an horrible idea came into his mind. Had I packed my toothbrush? He wondered whether he had packed his toothbrush or not, because toothbrush had always haunted him while traveling and made his life a big misery. Underline it. Why? Because this always happened with Jerome, that whenever he was going on a trip, in most of the times he would forget his brush at home, and after reaching downstairs, he would suddenly remember, oh, he had forgotten his toothbrush. So he would run upstairs back again, search for his toothbrush in the last moment, carry it to the railway station wrapped up in his pocket handkerchief. So this is what had happened with Jerome in the past, and this had haunted him. Even while on the trip, he would think about his brush in his dream, wake up in the cold perspiration, get out of the bed and hunt for it. So, because of the brush, there had been a lot of chaos in his life, packing and unpacking things in the bag. So that's why he says that the toothbrush is a thing that haunts him when he is traveling and makes his life a misery. Now he says, he further writes that he, when tried to find his brush, he found George's and Harris's 18 times over, but he couldn't find his own. Students, try to relate this situation of Jerome with yourself, that it might have happened with you, that there are certain things, there are things at times you need at that moment, but when you try to find it, you will not get the thing at that particular moment. But if you do not require it, and then those things keep watching you, and you keep watching those things around you every now and then, but when the same thing you require urgently, you will not find them at the right moment. So this is what happens with everyone. Now, I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once more. So he got all the things out. He found his toothbrush inside a boot. Then again put all those things back inside the bag and repacked once more. So there were a lot of packing, unpacking of the things inside the bag, and Jerome was literally tired. Now it was the third time when he had finished. George asked if the soap was in. I said I didn't care a hang whether the soap was in or whether it wasn't. I slammed the bag and shut and strapped it and found that I had packed my spectacles in it and had to reopen it. Now, as soon as when he finished it, Jerome again found George that he is telling him that whether he had packed the soap or not, and this time he's not going to check it even once whether he had packed the soap or not, because he was very tired and now he had no energy to take the things out again and to see whether he had packed the soap or not. He slammed the bag shut and strapped it, and unfortunately he found that he had packed his spectacles inside it, and it was almost 10:05 p.m. and they still had to pack the hampers, that is the basket for carrying the food. You can look here in the picture, the hampers. Harris said that we should be wanting to start in less than 12 hours time and thought that he and George had better to do the rest, and I agreed. That I sat down and they had a go. Now Jerome took rest, and Harris decided to take the initiative to pack the hampers because only 12 hours were left for the journey to start and they had to be really fast. They began in a light-hearted spirit, evidently intending to show me how to do it. I made no comment, I only waited. Now Harris wanted to show what's packing all about. He wanted to show Jerome that packing is an easier task, and Jerome took a lot of time. With the exception of George, Harris is the worst packer in this world. And I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc., and felt that the thing would soon becoming exciting. Now, all the things that I had mentioned here were lying on the floor, and now the biggest job was to pack all these things inside the hamper. And how to do it? This responsibility was taken up by Harris himself. How is going to do this would be very exciting. First, they started with breaking a cup. So the first thing, Harris and George began with breaking a cup. Now, second, Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of a tomato and squashed it. Now, the second blunder made by Harris is he packed that heavy strawberry jam bottle on top of a tomato, and tomato squashed it because of the heaviness of the jam bottle, jam jar. And now they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon inside the hamper. So it became a lot of mess. Now it was George's turn. Now what George did? He trod on the butter. You can see in the picture. He stepped onto the butter. And here is Jerome. He sat on the edge of the table and watched all the mess going on inside the room. So this is the description of how packing was going on. We're going to continue this lesson in the next lecture. So I hope you understand from this lesson that packing is not an easy task. The more you find it easy, the more difficult it is.